Good morning. This was a load of septic tank pieces parts, so they put them together and make septic tanks. And I've hauled this load before, but this one is just a little different. And I'm going to show you guys some of the wild strapping I had to do in the back. This one is kind of weird, you know, 2 straps in the front, and it's not that heavy. This is weird, but there was no room. So they put, I think it's a 250, 300 pound pallet up there, single strap, hold it, it's not a problem. Just watch where you put your straps. There's like, I'll have to show you on the other side that there's square tops to some of these that you can't strap over. And for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. A little bit of a problem with the trailer again, but I'm going to show you what I did in the back here, which is just wild. Wow, we had rain. I didn't even know it. Okay. You can see what I had to do. I had to cross over, and then what I did was I put another strap up through, and it fed the lower one. You know, the part going through from the 45 on the lower side, so it would pull correctly. And that's what I've got going on the other side too, so I'm not going to be able to walk through as easily. I'm not going to get all muddy and stuff, but it's pretty much the same on the other side. And you can tell it's kind of strange, but these are 3-inch straps and then 2-inch straps put together to make a trap, because it's the best I could do. I had to sit there and figure it out, and then you're doing that in wind, trying to throw straps in the wind. You can't throw them against the wind like I was throwing from the other side, because you had to feed them. It's very weird. See, a lot of what this is tight. I mean, they don't leave you any room. It's a full 102 load, pretty close. So in a lot of cases, I had to use a pry bar, lift this up, put my buckle through, and then feed the strap through and pull it through. I just couldn't put my buckle up and over and latch it. It just doesn't work that way. That's why these are time consuming. You see there's very little room here. You know, most of them are very tight, but that's the way they build them. I mean, they got this figured out to the half-inch of what they can put on a trailer. So, you know, there's a lot of business back there, but I've already been through some rough roads, and it hasn't moved a single bit. So I'm happy as long as you don't overdo it and crush it, but it's trapped. So just feeding it up and over and capturing part of it. But the one, I wasn't satisfied with that. I had to put that 2-inch on there to pull everything together, to keep it all, the straps from working any other direction besides what I wanted it to do. So that's the best I could come up with. Carrying lots of 2s. I carried just 2 of the 3-inch ratchets. I carry at least 8 of the 2-inch on me just to use up what I got to do. Yes, it's weird, but you can move that thing with one hand. That's how light it is. But it's trapped. There's not going to go forward or back or anything like that. As long as I keep it in on there, it'd be just fine. 10-foot top, and there was plenty of room left over. No problem there. They were having a problem with my lumber and my tarps again, and because last time I hauled, it was no issue at all. So while I have a 10-foot top, you should be able to put the rows on there and not have any problems. So once we got them to put this one piece on there, on the tarps, which I said it's not going to hurt anything, it's not going to damage my tarps, I can care less, and it's not going to cut any of my straps or anything like that. It's just fine. We'll take a quick look on the other side. I don't want to disturb other people in the truck with talking and stuff like that. A lot of people don't care, but I do. Okay, he started his truck. He's got his window up now. Oh, he's getting ready to leave, so we're good. So I can show you square top coming up over that, and as long as you don't reef down on it too hard, you should be good to go. I'm catching this piece is short stack. As long as you got good contact, you should have no problem. And you can see the other side too. And I'll probably end up giving them just maybe one click, and that's it, just to keep them. But there you can see there's a loop up there of material, and I was able to capture that, and to keep it, because it was so close to the edge, that's why I put this strap on there, to keep them kind of tight and in place, so they're, you know, from bouncing and stuff like that. So this one here probably need a click, but for the most part I haven't had a single bit of trouble, because it's trapped. You know, as long as, I mean, these bundles don't even weigh that much. You know, this whole load, the whole thing is not 29,000 pounds. So I give you an idea of what it doesn't weigh. So, should be good to go. It's pretty wild. By the time 2,300 miles are done, well, some of that plastic's going to be streaming off, looking like a flying banshee or something, and that happens. Just end up tucking it. I try not to cut it. I'll tuck it in, tie it in a knot. If I can do that, then at least it'll stay. You know, if it comes loose with the shrink wrap, it does it all the time. It's just going to happen. You know, because this is not a tarp load, so I mean, you couldn't tarp all this. You can't walk on it. You know, you're not going to do any of that. So that's pretty much it. It's kind of a quick one, but I wanted to give you an idea of what this was like to fit all this stuff in. I played hell back here trying to figure all this out and get it just right where I liked it, where I felt happy. But because I just had these open spots for these buckles, I had to feed them pretty much the same kind of direction. Yep, there's not a lot of room to work with, but you know, that's, you know, it's pretty reasonable tight. I don't want to overdo it, because you know, it's plastic, you know, and when you load these, you just watch and make sure that they all are, you know, if there's any damages or anything, you know, even though it's just septic tank stuff, it's still product, and you got to make sure it's in good shape. And they've been stuff that's been, you know, hit or from fork truck, not seeing where they're going or whatever, and ask them to change the product. So watch stuff like that. Keeps customers happy at the other end. So I'm serving the same company, 2 locations. There's multiple ones all over the state of Washington, and this one gets me home. So I really got to roll like hell to make it up there by Friday. Should be no problem, but I got to have some solid days of travel. So we'll see you on the road.